he is as well.
What's up, Cloud Gamers? Welcome to another episode of CGX Cast. This is episode 54. It is good to be back here. Just want to say shout outs to Hell Monkey for holding the last podcast down. Man, this is going to be an exciting podcast, man. I cannot wait to get into it. We have our finalists here. We're missing some people. We're missing Holtz. We're missing Ben. But I feel like we have a good panel today, and I feel like discussions are going to go pretty well. So just want to let you guys know, I don't do this, but I should start doing this more often. We have two other channels. You guys check it out if you're into VR. We have started covering cloud game VR, and also if you're into like streaming, watching YouTubers stream cloud gaming stuff, we're really focusing on expanding that too. So definitely check us out with that. But just want to take a sec to talk to the members of the panel and also include you guys who are watching. And man, we got so much to talk about, and I'm excited to be back, man. I can't stress that enough. So let's get into this, man. Panel members, we'll start with GTP. How are you doing, sir? What have you been playing? What platform?
Yeah, I am doing good. It's nice to see you back again too, Ace, even though we did have a good time last week.
Yeah, it's good, good stuff.
For the most part, gaming, I haven't gotten to do a lot. I finished up like my last hour or two of Psychonauts that I was trying to finish up. And last night, because of Ben, who isn't here, I was hoping he would be, but I got into Lost in Random, and I started playing it through EA Play Pro on PC. Did a little shadow, and then I jumped and I bought it on Xbox and started playing it there too. I really like it. It's a really good game, and I've probably already done something like 5 or 6 hours since last night when I got into it. So it's not an expensive game. I think I got it for $28 on Xbox. But if you like something that might be mixed between like Nightmare Before Christmas and Alice in Wonderland when it comes to the atmosphere and the artwork and all that kind of stuff, it would definitely be a game you might want to check out.
Cool. Did you beat Psychonaut, you said?
Yeah, the second one. I
Wow.
did the first. I replayed the first one before it came out, and then I
That's cool.
played through the second one. It's only like, depending on how you play it, you can do 10 to 13 hours and kill that game.
Okay.
Which is something I like because, we get short on time. So like when I know I can actually beat a game, I'll actually like hit it, like I'll go for it. And even though I'm still mostly a local hardware guy, I gotta be honest, I've been doing more and more cloud gaming, and I probably only beat Psychonauts 2 because of xCloud, because of so many more ways I was able to play it. So
Right.
it's really becoming exciting for me, the amount of cloud gaming I've been doing.
I was gonna say, because you make content, right? We had this conversation about like it's difficult for you to really get into games and complete it. So this is like a huge achievement for you, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Completing
to actually like
Psychonauts
get through
too.
it. Yeah. And I've been embracing cloud more for that reason, because I just noticed that with something like a Kishi or a Backbone,
Right.
the phone is much more feasible for certain games. The iPad is certainly great because you have a bigger screen, because I don't really like the smaller screen for a lot of games. But yeah, it's really opened up a lot more doors where even when I have things going on the computer for content, I might have my iPad sitting here with Stadia or Luna or GeForce Now or whatever up, playing a little bit, pause it, go back to editing. I mean, you just fit it in a lot easier to get more done.
For sure. Good to see you, my dude. Again, we were just talking about this in the background. This is like my first time seeing you in person, like in quite some time, or virtually.
Yeah, it's been a busy summer for a lot of us, but I think we're
sure.
kind of settling back into normal routines. So
Right. Good stuff. How are you, Duncan? What have you been playing, sir? What platform?
I have been doing my usual and playing across an absolute range of stuff. And I think that's a good point you've raised there. I think people don't realize when you're actually out there making content and doing things and reporting and going on these shows, actually sitting down and playing games becomes a bit of a luxury at times, even though I've been able to play a fair bit, but actually sitting down to complete games and things, it gets really, really difficult. But This week I have been playing a load of different games. I've been flittering between the few there. I unfortunately started playing Slay the Spire again. I kicked that addiction, and now I'm back playing it again, and it is absolutely really bad. But I'll shout out a couple. I'll shout out two games which I have been playing. One is that we're going to be coming on to this later. No, this was last week's one, so it doesn't matter. It's Yuki's Island Express on GFN. That was an epic free game last week. I have been putting some time into that as a nice little chill out game. And I've also put in some time in Neon Abyss, which is on Humble Bundle for this month. So if you're on GFN, there's 3 games you can pick up on Humble Bundle. I pay a grand total of £4 a month for all them games, where it's about $6 I pay for Humble Bundle. And I got that this month, and I am really enjoying that.
Yeah, Humble Bundle is dope. I keep forgetting. It's very affordable, and you get some really good deals that you can use either Shadow or GeForce Now to access game-wise. But good stuff, man. Duncan, it's always good to have you on here, my dude, for sure. All right, let's check in with Gamer. How are you, sir? What have you been playing? What platform?
I'm good, man. I've been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed Valhalla locally. Yeah, locally. I had to revisit it. The new DLC kind of reeled me back in a little bit.
Okay.
Tried out a bit of True Colors, Life is Strange, via GFN, a little bit on Stadia.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's another one that I'm kind of just enjoying that like a movie, you know. You can't really push that forward too much. You just kind of go for the ride, man. But that's about it, man. Just I've isolated my gaming. It's been cut in half, working on a few big projects. So haven't had a ton of time, but those are the two I've been dealing with mainly.
That's awesome, man. Life is Strange, it's same thing. It's one of those games that you put on and you just enjoy, man. It's it is like a movie. It's pretty cool.
It is, man. It is.
I like it. Awesome. So how is the new DLC for Assassin's Creed? Are you like
it's great, man, because it's Assassin's Creed is so vast. It's easy to fall out of it. Yeah, that isn't a game you can just play and get locked in without diverting your attention elsewhere. So when the new DLC drop, you can kind of just jump right into it. You don't have to complete the main quest line. You can just jump all over the place, which is great. So for me, man, I hit France and checked it out, and it's absolutely, I think it's better than the main quest line. Honestly, I can play that all day. I enjoy it quite a bit. Yeah, it's great.
That's cool. Got to get back into that game. Always say it, but never really do it. But yeah, good stuff overall. Monkey, how are you, sir? And again, shout outs for holding the last podcast. But how you been doing? What have you been playing? What platform?
Thanks, man. Yeah, it was a load of fun last week, to be fair. So this week, I've caught the bug. I've been playing New World. It is
gosh,
fair play to Amazon Game Studio. The last 2 games I've tried to make they were dreadful, to put it mildly. But New World is on a different level, man. I tell you how good it is as well. That sort of game, the open world, the crafting, the alchemy, etc. Not generally my cup of tea. I don't really spend a lot of time playing those games, those types of games, but it's got me hooked, man. Yeah, you probably noticed from our Discord, I'm asking Chief about things and that, because he's been enjoying the game as well. And I mean, you guys know I'm controller player. I was brought up with consoles, so it's always been controller. So I'm sort of learning the ropes with keyboard and mouse here, and I'm enjoying it because, it's all level related as well. So if I just stay within a nice little region, do some missions, do some quests and that, level up nice and slowly, I'm really enjoying the game. But there's a lot there as well for the hardcore, open world gamers that are really good on the keyboard and mouse, of course. There's an absolute ton of customization. customizing your weapons, your outfits, repairing your weapons. There's loads to think about, loads to keep your brain ticking over. I've been playing that on Shadow as well, and it's been really good. Really, really good. Really enjoying it. And other than that, trying to get this VR set up for Cloud, man. It's an absolute nightmare. Chief seems to have took... So we've been talking back and forth about how difficult this is to set it up, okay? Dude. And Chief seems to have took everything I've done wrong and sort of went by that, and he's having some good results. So that VR link that I put in the chat, guys, if you're interested in VR and you don't have a high-end PC, give it a check out. Chief's got some preparations there for some nice videos, and I think I know a way now to get it working via the mobile. Via the mobile, I've been reading up more as well. So if you don't have a high-end PC, I will hopefully sometime next week have a guide up for that. I believe I've just about got it, and I'm one more shift tomorrow at work. I'm off Monday to Friday. That is my goal. I'll probably not finish it to about midnight Friday, but I'll get there. I don't give up. So that's been my week, man.
That's cool, man. Good to have you in here, Monkey. And again, guys, like, we're hard at work, and I haven't really, you see it right there for me, but like, I haven't really got the time to dive in as much as Monkey and Chief have been trying to crack. Just cloud gaming VR, there's a lot of potential there, but it's just really complicated and difficult. But the goal is for us to show you guys how you can do it to where you guys are not ripping your hair out like we did. But yeah, Monkey.
That's where all my hair is.
Monkey was this close to really sending his back, man. It's a complicated process, but hopefully we can crack it to make it easier for you guys. That's the goal. But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. So I've been gaming, man. It's pretty exciting time for me right now because, as you guys know, I like story-driven games, and Life is Strange True Colors, man. The game is nice. Graphically, story-wise, it just has my attention. And I wasn't aware of this because that game has been out and I've been playing a lot. Tales of Arise came out. It came out, so I had no idea about that game. Found out it came out yesterday. Downloaded it through Shadow. By the way, it runs beautiful, and I'm gonna upload a gameplay video on the XS channel so you guys can see. But it runs so well, and that game is absolutely incredible. I wish Holtz was on here so we can go back and forth with this game. But if you guys haven't played Tales of Arise, it's a PC game, so you gotta use Shadow because it's not on GFN. But loving that game right now. So it's pretty cool. I have Life is Strange, still working through that, and then I have Tales of Arise. So those games are gonna keep me pretty occupied this month for sure. And we'll talk about Luna too because a lot just released on there. But yeah, that's been my gaming session for this week, man. It's good to actually game. It's crazy. But yeah, go ahead. Does someone want to say something?
Yeah, sorry, I'm biting my lip. See, I forgot to mention Tales of Arise. This was one that I wasn't too sure about. But having you say that, Ace, I nearly pulled the trigger, man. I was watching the gameplay videos and the trailers and everything last night. That just came out the blue, by the way. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah.
Well under the radar. I was watching it last night. I was like, this looks incredible. But I was thinking, is it one of these games that looks great and you jump in and it's not as good as it looks? But you've seen that, man. I'm pulling the trigger. I'm pulling the trigger. I might just do it right now, actually.
Yeah, so I was in the fence until I watched IGN's review, and they give it a 9 out of 10. So I was like, all right, I'm sold. Let's go. And, man, telling you guys this. If you like JRPGs, this is a good one. And the fact that you can play it on Shadow and it runs well, give it a look. Good stuff overall. All right, so let's say what up to you guys who are on here, who are watching. Appreciate you guys watching. And again, the goal is to include you guys in discussion pieces as we do talk about them. And thank you guys for doing the polls. It's pretty cool to see this, going on. Luna right now, again, 28 if you guys voted. Luna's sitting at a 54%. Stadia says 7. GeForce Now is at 25. Xbox Cloud Gaming is at 14. And Gamer said earlier, if Luna don't come out on top, then this is rigged, right? Because again, this was just an incredible week for them. But we'll get right. Let's actually start with Luna right now. But before we do, what's up, Rigtone, Make of Chaos? Good to see you on here. Zero Games for me. What's up, Dante? Hope I'm saying your name right. What's good? Thank you for being here, joining. Polar, what's up, man? Always a big fan coming on here. Also a member. Really appreciate you here for sure. Holtz, what's up? Can you make it, my dude? Let's see. Defo. All right, cool. Luna wins. All right. Yeah, let me know if you can make it. I know this stuff going on, but if you can make it, that'll be great for sure. Kiefer, what is good, Lurk? All right, 2K grind, but okay, yeah, we'll get into 2K again. That's a game that's missing from Google Stadia, so we'll talk more about that when we talk about Stadia. All right, so we've done all of that. Let's get right into this, man. Talk about Amazon Luna to begin, right? So Luna had a huge week this week. They added a new channel, which is a family channel with over 30 games, right? They let us know that another channel was in the making with a retro channel. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see what games comes with that. They added a feature called Luna Couch, and it's incredible. I've actually tried this with my sister who's in Atlanta, Georgia, and it works really well. And then they added more device supports, tablet, Chromebooks, and this actually, GTP kind of pointed this out. There's a new Fire Stick, a 4K Fire Stick that should be coming out later this year that has Wi-Fi 6 and is designed to take advantage of streaming Luna well. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how that compares to the Google TV Chromecast, and it's going to be interesting to see if Google, creates something to kind of battle that. But good stuff overall. So just want to start with you guys. These other things that we'll get about when it comes to Luna, like New World and how that possibly might become, but just with the news this week, let's check in with the panel, see what you guys have to say about this. So to get started, GTP, let's start with you. How was the Luna news for you this week?
I mean, I was surprised because I knew something was coming because they've been really quiet, but this was a pretty big drop all at once. Because of the family channel, they wound up adding like 39 games.
Yeah.
Now, not all those are accessible through like Luna Plus. Some of those are locked behind that, the family channel subscription, which I did sign up for so that I can get into, covering
$2.99.
I mean,
bad,
look,
right?
look, for over 35 pretty darn good kids games in there. Like, if you're thinking, like, I know my nephew, there's quite a few things in there he'll jump into. It'll be good for my son, like for $3 a month, and they're going to be adding more games, and we can trust them on that because they've done a good job of that so far. I was like, wow, this is a good deal. Like, so far I'm looking at $5.99 and $2.99, and I know that's like probably beta pricing, but that's impressive right now. That on top of the, I think that new channel, the value for that and the Luna Couch feature are the two bigger pieces of what all the news was, even though there's so much more than that.
Yeah.
And I did try the Luna Couch as well, and I'm trying to work together some kind of video for that too, because it worked flawlessly. I mean, it was the easiest I've ever had to like, yo man, here's your code, jump on, because the Jojo Narako I talk about, my buddy Joe sometimes, he doesn't have Luna. He only has GeForce Now. He doesn't do a lot of cloud. And I sent him that code, and not being a subscriber, nothing. He was able to do that. So we're going to be working on stuff with that. I just thought that was so good, the way they implemented that. Like, it's well thought out. And I think the UI just keeps getting better for Luna, like the overall app and the I know you're on the web, but on the app now, and I think it might be on the web too. When you go into settings, there's now a what's new tab, which didn't used to be there, and it gives you a list of what's new, a lot like it does when you launch the app the first time. But now you can go in there and check anytime for what's new, so that's really cool. Yeah, it's just overall a powerful news drop for Luna, and got me really excited because I knew this was the kind of stuff that was coming. Prime members playing for free was another cool feature. That's like a 7-day thing, but they could roll that with different games and really keep. I think that's probably what they'll wind up doing. So, you know, if they can throw 3, 4, 5, 6 games up there, you know, and rotate those in and out and let people that are on Prime jump in and try them, that's great. I don't know if you fired up your Fire Stick or anything recently, but if you get on there now, there's a banner immediately that says Prime members play Luna for free. That's awesome. It takes you into it. Just the advertising is everywhere. So really, really good stuff for Luna.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this, and this is definitely different from when did they update this? Sometime last week, right?
Yeah.
Even Couch Games wasn't here, and so they made a section for it now. And then they have mouse and keyboard games. And they have a section, so it's like they always updating this, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah, and they have the family channel down there. They're starting to break things down really, really well. And I want to see, like, at the top purple bar that you have there, or in the app where it's on the side, I would like to see the channels we're subscribed to listed so I could click it and just see them quickly there too. That would be really cool, but I'm sure things like that will come. But and then you have that page for Couch. When you click that, it instantly shows you every Couch game that you can jump into. You can put your code in there. It's just really well thought out. It's really simple.
Right. Good stuff overall. Let's check in with Duncan, and what's your take on the Luna news for this week?
Absolutely awful. They need to really step this up. Something shocking.
Man.
I think the biggest shock about this is it just dropped out from nowhere. I think we thought they were working behind the scenes doing a lot, and now they have decided, we're going to start pushing this out here. And it's we've been talking about for a while. This does, I know we're going to be coming on to this, it does all seem to be shaping up for New World, because I think everything, the pieces are coming together, and I think they've been holding this back because this family channel actually showed up a couple of months ago.
It did,
and then it went away again. So we knew that this channel was coming, and I think this is absolutely class. I can't wait to hear what Gamer TV says, because I know he has been testing the Couch feature. But the family channel, there's so much positive in that. The price point is absolutely brilliant at the $2.99. When you look at other platforms, and when I say other platforms, I am meaning other platforms, not just the one. $2.99, and you get access to all these games. The way I would describe it is, there's games here I want to play in this family channel. It isn't just a kids channel. Like. I'll show you what, again, people, if we're beginning to learn what sort of games I like. The Bridge Constructor, I like Bridge Constructor there. Spitlings is an absolute laugh as well if you get playing with people. And who doesn't like SpongeBob or Transformers Battlegrounds? Right. This is the power of the subscription here, $2.99, and you could get this set aside, and you know these are all going to be kids safe games to play with. The Prime stuff is absolutely class as well, and if you look at the games which you've actually put on for the Prime, it is 4 completely different games. There is probably something there for everybody. You've got the sort of shooter in Metro, you've got a horror game in Resident Evil, you have a kids game. I can't remember.
Master Boy and Katamari.
Your platformer in Monster Boy and your completely kids game in Katamari. It is a good mix there, and the sleeper one there, which is getting actually overlooked, is the one is Smite was added as well.
Yeah.
Again, I think this has been extremely strong for them, and this is what we've been wanting for in a long time, and this is where this is going to come really, really valuable. Smite has got a fair, I'm not going to say a massive viewership on Twitch, but it's got a fair bit. And then you've got the click to play icon on Twitch. Come and play this on Luna. Away you go. There's just so much positive here going on for Luna, and hurry up and get over into the UK.
Which I do want to talk about that too. As we're all discussing here, this is good news, but there's still some stuff that I feel like they can do to make this platform even better, and that's expansion. So we'll get into that here in a bit. But yeah, guys, Smite is online and it's available on Luna. And this, like Duncan was saying, it's kind of a sleeper because there's just a lot of news that this just went under the radar. It's a good game. Played it. It actually ran really well on Luna. But Gamer TV, let's get into you, sir. What's your take on the news for Luna this week?
It's kind of what we've been waiting for. I'm not going to repeat much of what everyone else has said, but it's fantastic. I'll add a short story, so like a TLDR this thing, right? I have a kid. He doesn't live with me. He's 7 years old. The couch feature is fantastic. I'll say that much. It has connected us over gaming in a way in which I always hoped cloud would. So I realize, there's been a lot of cool cloud features elsewhere, but this has been the single cloud feature that has proven why cloud even matters. I mean, aside from the convenience, right? No download, hard drive space, all of that jazz is cool. But in terms of the true reason why you're going to game with cloud, this feature-wise, this has been the best and the biggest one for me personally. So yeah, that's why I'm all in on what they've done, the games they've added. We can call them shadow drops, right? But I mean, they shadow drop like 30 games on us and new channels. So no, it's fantastic, man. It's great. Can't be beat.
Cool. Good stuff overall. How about you, Monkey? What's your take here, man?
Can I just say, Gamer, that is a fantastic little piece here, man. That's that's just brilliant, mate. Honestly, I don't have a lump in my throat or nothing. Amazing to see. Yeah, look, wow, this took us by surprise this week, man. I don't want to go over too much, like Gamer said, what everyone else has said, but what I did notice when I was writing up the article for this, the family channel is advertised at $2.99. It doesn't say early access price like what the Luna Plus channel is. So I imagine, unless they drop another significant amount of games onto the channel down the line, shall we see a price rise? Probably not, unless they are offering extremely good value. So it looks like it's just going to be $2.99 throughout. The only complaint I have, it's still US only. It's all absolutely fantastic news. That Luna couch feature, the fact that you don't have to have Luna, all you need is a compatible device and you can, play local multiplayer or multiplayer games. Just brilliant, man. And this is what cloud's all about, bringing people together that don't game in the same platforms. We always call out for cross-play and things like that, but this is, in my opinion, just as good a feature when it comes to cloud. I think it's been a great week, but US only is still a bit of a downer. Yeah. Other than that, I think everyone's covered what you wanted to talk about so far. Great week.
Cool. So I'm looking at the family channel and it says stream on 2 devices at the same time. Play together with local on or on this selection of games. So my thing is, Google Stadia has the family share, which I think you can share with up to 6 or maybe 7 people. I can't remember. But it's different because with Stadia, right? It's only one person can play the game that you purchase. But with this, if you share your code, you can, like Gamer was saying, him and his son, like literally play the game without him having. I think that's huge, man. It's huge. I don't see anyone else doing that. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to give an idea for one of your video for you, because we can't obviously do this at this moment. Could you have two people streaming on Luna at once and then sharing the code as well, so you could have 3 or 4 people playing at the same time?
Tell me more. What do you mean?
Yeah. Hellmonkey has worked out.
So that's actually a great idea. So basically what he's saying is so if you and say someone else in your house was playing the same game from your one account, can you both generate a code and send that to 2 other people? And then there's like 4 of you. I don't know if that'd be possible. Definitely something to try though.
Okay. Yeah. What? I don't know if that'll work, but it'd be good to try. But at the same time, I can see we have to test this out. But local multiplayer in one house, send the code, and then that family can like play a game that has multiplayer, but play co-op. So, you know, with 2 controllers there, 2 controllers here, we got some testing to do, man.
So,
do you know what you should do first? Send me a code and see if
it doesn't work.
Here.
Damn it.
Worth a try.
GTC, we'll do some testing, man.
I might just fire up the VPN, man, and just go for it and see what it's
Why
like.
Why don't you guys do that? You should. You should. It might not be the best performance, but at least you'll have the experience. Yeah. But yeah, guys, this was news that I don't think anyone saw coming. Duncan was saying earlier, right? We got the family channel being leaked, but I thought it was just going to be like a channel with 5 games at most. These people came with 30 plus games, you know, $2.99 price tag. I mean, this is incredible. And then a feature that is, I would say this feature is revolutionary. You know, shout outs to Stadia and all its features, but man, this right here, the couch play feature, is groundbreaking, man. And it's good. I'm interested to see if they like continue to push this, because again, Stadia has a lot of features, but I don't think they're doing a good job over there pushing it. So yeah, this is, again, can't stress that enough. This caught a lot of people by surprise, and shout outs to Luna, man. They were slow, but they have picked it up tremendously. Good stuff overall.
Well, you know what? Can I ask you? Let me ask you a quick question though.
Sure.
This is super random, but in line with this, right?
Yeah.
For all the features that Stadia has, you compare them to this one couch play feature. You just opened a world of games that don't really require a huge multiplayer audience, right? We can say, fine, I have a ton of co-op capable games here that I can play with any friend at any time, whoever's available, versus something with Stadia, you download the same game and you're like, okay, now who in the hell can I play with? It's that huge. I mean, that's so you can't understate how big your statement is regarding this. You just opened a world of games to multiplayer via cloud.
Yeah, that's a good point, because again, an issue that Google Stadia runs into is like trying to find people to play games with. But in a way, with this feature, that's not an issue. You can just send the code to a friend and be like, yo, you free? Here, let's get on.
Right. Exactly.
It's dope, man. It's dope. So the other thing to test is, does this work with Ubisoft Plus? No, I'm seeing head shaking.
Are you talking about the couch feature?
Uh-huh.
No, because if you go over into the couch, if you leave the family tab here and you go to that couch tab, it'll show you all the supported couch games.
Oh,
and
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. You're right. You're right.
And I would add one more thing that I think was pretty impressive from Amazon as a whole on the news day when all this broke. It wasn't all Luna. Amazon was really smart. They dropped their new TVs, their new Fire Stick, their new bundles.
Yep.
All this stuff. They had a whole marketing change on the Amazon website that had all this new stuff and the new graphics, the new marketing, and then so much of it included Luna and the controllers and everything. And Amazon really just took their entire business and wrapped it around Luna, a lot like Microsoft is with Xbox, on a whole different level, of course, because they're not that big yet and it's cloud only. But watching Amazon as a company embrace Luna as a real gaming arm, treat them like something important in the company, that's what helps make something successful. And I was impressed watching all of it come together like that on that news day, the way that it did. And that's the kind of thing that I wish we would have always seen from like Google and Stadia, and the type of cohesion and stuff from that. So it was a really impressive news day overall, that Amazon just kind of hit on all points at the same time.
Yeah. So true with that.
I was going to bring up as well with the US thing. Normally, when Amazon do these new announcements, like the new Fire TVs and things like that, over us in the UK, we usually get it. We're sort of more or less there. We haven't got any of the new Fire stuff as yet. I'm just adding that in, just in case they're holding that back for Luna to be over here in the UK. Because we normally, when there's a new Fire TV or a new Fire tablet, when it gets announced in the US, we get it as well. And there's been nothing over here as yet.
Yeah. So Proto said, Stadia, actually, you're right. Olympic 2020 does have couch co-op, but my goodness. It's nothing like what Luna has, and I'm just gonna be 100% real. I actually tried to demo this, and Chief, were you there, Monkey, or was it me and Chief?
Yeah, it was you and Chief. I think I was at work, but
Okay.
it just wasn't very smooth at all, wasn't it? No.
It was such a headache.
I think
and
you both have to own the game, do you?
Yeah.
Is that?
No, dude. I can't remember, but it was so bad that we didn't even launch the video, because like this is ridiculous. The simplicity of this couch co-op on Luna, if you haven't tried it yet, I recommend go try it. It's night and day. And the fact that this works with multiple games compared to just one game, I mean, I get it. Stadia potentially does have this feature, but I don't think they're implementing it as well as Luna's doing right now. But yeah. All right, so that's Luna. Anyone else have anything to add to this news? I do want to talk about New World and why is it not here yet on this platform. So hop on if I miss anything with the news.
Just before we go, if anyone has any camera recommendations, please drop them in the chat, because that thing's doing my head in.
Camera? Your camera?
I use an iPhone.
You use an iPhone right now?
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
Who needs webcams? Yeah. I use something called Cameo Studio, and you just hook up your phone to it, so it's nice and chilled. And then you can zoom in and zoom out, and that's why I can do these weird things. And yeah, okay, we'll stop talking about webcams now.
But let's get into New World. And like Monkey was saying, the game is fun as heck. I haven't really played it as much as I would like. But people who I know who've tried this game have nothing but great things to say. But Monkey discovered, as he was trying to get into it, that you only can play this game with a keyboard, right, and mouse, not with a controller. And there was a recent interview, and Duncan, thanks for sharing it with the group, about this game and its potential of it eventually coming to Luna. And what that article was saying is it's a matter of time. It is going to come, but it's a matter of time. So my thing is it the fact that it's only keyboard and mouse related, the issue that's stopping it from coming to this platform right now? And what this game is set to release pretty soon, and from what I'm gathering from that article, is probably not going to make the launch window. And so I just want to discuss that too and see if that's a big deal for you guys, or are you guys okay knowing that eventually it is going to come to the platform? So I'm just going to open it up. Anyone can jump in.
Ideally, you would like it to launch day and date, an Amazon game onto an Amazon service. It shouldn't be all that difficult. Amazon's running on Windows. I've been playing New World on a Windows PC, and I'll be disappointed if it doesn't launch day and day, even if there was maybe a small price to pay for it on Luna. If they don't really know where they're going to go with their exclusives yet, they don't have enough exclusives to build up their own channel as it is just yet. Over time, possibly, but if they come in, Prime member, get this for X amount of money, play on Luna, no downloads, etc. There's so much they can do, but just like we say when it comes to Stadia, if it's not going to come day and date, let us know when it is coming. Let us know when we can expect it. My question, actually, sorry, I should have led in with this. Can you not use keyboard and mouse on Luna just yet?
You can.
No, you can.
Oh, you can't? Okay, so no excuses then. There's no excuses then.
Yeah.
Well, no, there is maybe. If you're using mobile or a tablet, then maybe you couldn't play the game, but I hope the game comes with controller support. That might be, like you say, the reason that it won't come for a while yet, while they integrate that style of game, much like Skyrim, and the way it works. It's not as good to play with a controller. It's definitely easier with keyboard and mouse. So maybe they're in two minds as to whether they actually have controller support or not. But I think it's 2021. I think you've got to have controller support in some form for games. It has to be available for everyone, because not everyone can game keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
And that's my thoughts.
Yeah. My thing is, and again, this is open, anyone can jump in, but I think they're still working on some Luna specific features like touch controls. Don't know how the hell you're going to be able to play this game with touch controls, but I can see touch controls, like controller support, that not being ready yet, that being one of the reasons why this is probably still not on Luna. And like we discussed 2 weeks ago, I don't think Amazon is really concerned about like this game pulling Luna to success, because I think they know, again, you see what they're doing with Prime membership. Once that becomes a thing, 128 million people, instant access to Luna, I mean, they'll have the numbers overnight. So as far as like this game pushing Luna as a service, I don't think they concerned about that as well. Now, it can be like an addition to Luna when it is ready. And so for that reason, I can see them just chilling and waiting for them to perfect it when they port it over. But I would definitely like to see this on the platform day one. But in a way, I don't think they need to rush it, I guess. But that's just my take. Anyone else want to hop on here?
I think they've got a couple of issues. I think the controller support, or how you're going to control it, is one of the reasons why it is not going to hit at launch. And I think the second issue there, I think I know what's going to happen, but I think they may be having still the talk internally is the pricing of it, or are they just going to include it into Luna Plus? I think they're trying to maybe work out if that's going to happen or not. I think it will. I think Microsoft have changed the game, and they will have to drop it into Luna Plus for that. And the interview where this came from, I think you don't mention that it could come to your platform unless it's coming to your platform.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that it may be a bit silly saying that. If you're unsure, you say we've no comment to make about this or something like that. You go wishy-washy. You don't say it could do. It's basically saying that in gaming terms and out there, it's basically that is a coming. It's just a matter of when. I don't think it being there not at launch it isn't good, but I don't think it's a, oh my God, this is really, really bad. I think we can talk about it. I think it should bury their lunch, even if they have to put big exclamation marks. This is only mouse and keyboard at this moment in time, and controller support is to come. But just let us know what's happening with it, because I think it is just a matter of time of when it's going to do it.
True. But KB, great question. And I would like us to just look into this for sure. Do you think we'll see more acquisition from Luna to compete with what Microsoft is doing?
No.
You don't think so? Okay.
Looking at what Luna's already doing and kind of how Amazon is headed here, I mean, I don't think the answer all of a sudden for every company is that you need to go buy the big, go buy all the big gaming companies. That was something Microsoft pretty much had to do, right? They've suffered for at least a generation on games, and to build all the first party studios was going to be very difficult. But what Microsoft did have was a lot of money, and so they started purchasing, and I think that was out of necessity to survive and to become what they are now. Microsoft had to make those moves, and I'm looking at Amazon Luna, and I'm thinking, why they don't need to do that. If they keep their first party studios up and they can produce a game like New World every now and then, they can get their feet under them, maybe have more of their own studios down the road, and just keep adding the right type of games. They don't need to go out there and purchase any big companies, in my opinion, because every gaming company is doing their own thing. Not everybody all of a sudden needs to go spend billions of dollars on gaming companies to make it, especially in cloud when you're talking about features like Couch and other things that we're raving about today. So I don't think that's really a need. And since I'm going on anyway, I'll just throw my thing out about New World.
Yeah,
I've wanted that as a launch title since Luna was a thing and New World was a thing, but it's probably not going to be, because they have had enough issues during the beta that I think they're going to want the game to be out to the masses on PC first, just getting as much more data as they can, because I can guarantee you're going to have launch issues. It happens no matter what. They're going to want to get that stuff figured out before probably dropping it on Luna, among other things. And I used to play exclusively like pretty much MMOs for years and years and years on PC all the time, and some games just you cannot use any other input but a mouse and keyboard, and usually MMOs are that way. I would not expect anything but mouse and keyboard support for New World on Luna, and you can use a Bluetooth mouse and keyboard on your iPhone, on your iPad, on your other tablets, on your on your TV too, for Fire. Doesn't matter what you're on, you can still hook up a mouse and keyboard. So not every game is for every person. If you can't play a game with mouse and keyboard and the MMO is not your thing, you're not going to play the game. But there's going to be a lot of people that do. So I don't think you're going to see other support come for that game. Just my opinion. I think it'll be mouse and keyboard. And you alluded to it a little bit ago when you said we have all these new rows now, and mouse and keyboard games didn't used to be there either.
Yeah.
So they're already putting that out, saying, look, mouse and keyboard, and so it's coming. It's all kind of a setup to get ready for that.
Yeah, agreed. Game, I want to hear from you with the acquisition when it comes to Amazon. Do you think they'll make more acquisitions to compete?
Yeah, I don't believe they will. As GTP mentioned, Amazon, they're playing their own game simply because they can. They're in a very strategic position to not worry about what everyone else is doing or anything like that. Their Prime membership bucket that's like their thing, man. That is so huge for them. No one else can claim that. So instant access for 40 million to 150 million users right out of the gate. Just take 10% of that, and they're already, changing the cloud game, right? Oh, yeah, so, end of the day, they don't have to, and I don't believe they're even interested in that portion of it. I think they're more interested in bringing in more channels, more partnerships, and whatnot. Their money's better suited there. In terms of New World, I agree with what everyone has said. Now, I do believe they're trying to figure out a way to make this thing work with a controller and touchscreen, but if they can't, I believe they will just stick it under purely mouse and keyboard game. They know that the audience will be even larger with controller support on Luna, and that'll truly take advantage of cloud for them versus their current PC user base that are on the go and say, hey, I'd love to access my New World account when I'm at work or wherever it might be. I think controller support and touchscreen support will really take advantage of what the cloud is for New World, but if they can't figure it out, they won't. They have a really cool thing called an MCS, which most good companies use, like Amazon, which is a minimum criteria of success. And if a game doesn't hit those marks, they won't release it, which is why I'm super confident in everything Luna releases in terms of features and games to the platform. They follow a very strict minimum criteria of success that all games and features must hit before they release them.
That's awesome. Didn't know you speaking some vocabulary that I never heard before, but I love it. I love it. It's good to know. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. But yeah, good input for Luna there. I just realized we have spent almost an hour talking about this platform. Way to go, Luna. Doing something good here. Normally Stadia takes the most of our time slot, but anyone else want to add to Luna before we hop on to GFN?
I will give you my quick thing on the acquisitions. I think there will be, and I think the market has shifted to where they have to go after someone. Again, it may not be a big EA, Take-Two, Ubisoft, or anything like that. They may make moves like what PlayStation are doing, grabbing the smaller studios or startups and building them up. And I think we're going to see more partnerships like with Lost Ark as well. They have signed up with Smilegate there. So I'm expecting Lost Ark on Luna as well when that launches next year. I actually missed that news. That was announced last week and it's coming early 2022. So we've got that as well. So I think, yes, they're going to have to, they will have to, because these big companies are all going to be going under the cloud, and it's all going to be about content. Content is still king, and exclusive content is what is going to separate everybody out. So it may not be big, massive acquisitions, but I do think there will be someone or more than one person.
That's just a good point, because I'm watching what they're doing with their video service, right? How they're trying to compete with Netflix, with HBO Max and Disney Plus. And, again, we have the Lord of the Rings stuff coming. There's a new, what's the name? There's a new kind of fantasy show coming out this fall for Prime, and it's exclusive to them, right? I can't remember the name. Maybe somebody here knows, but you see them making these investment in exclusive content. I do think down the line, cloud gaming for them is going to look similar. And I feel like if they want to compete with what Microsoft is doing and Sony down the line, they are going to have to either start up more studios or acquire some, because they got to keep that exclusive content coming along, right? I don't think they have enough studios right now to compete with what Microsoft and Sony, whenever they decide to come cloud side, would put out. So the only way to compete against create more studios or acquire. So it's going to be interesting to see for sure.
Wheel of Time.
Yes, sir. That's it. Thank you, Ben. Oh, Ben is like, this dude has information everywhere, man. If you have a question, ask him. He'll know it. He'll find a way to get it. But thank you. All right, GFN. Let's get into it, man. I don't know. So we got some Ubisoft announcement. Far Cry 6 is coming to this platform, Riders Republic as well. Looks like it's going to be same end date release. It's pretty good stuff. We had a big game that came out on Google Stadia, released the same week, Life is Strange True Colors. And Chief did a comparison, and it actually runs and looks really well on this platform as well. So the games that released this week: Bus Simulator 21, Dice Legacy, Shelter, this free game on Epic. You guys go claim it if you haven't yet. Life is Strange, like I mentioned. American Fugitive, this game is quite interesting. If you like the old style GTA games back in the days, this kind of has that feel to it, right? Cypher's Protocol, Inscade, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Infin Factory, I don't know if I'm saying that right either. Postal Redux, and Transport Fever 2. So those are the games that released for the GFN platform this week. What are your thoughts? I'm not going to say my thoughts here. I want to hear from you guys. But let's start with GTP, man. What's your take here?
I mean, we've known since the roadmap that it's a strong month anyway, overall for GeForce Now. They have enough big releases coming in. I think like every week there's going to be pretty much a pretty good sized game on there. And Life is Strange is, of course, the largest release for them this week. And you know, for them to have that on there, that's good job. I mean, that is a great game for them to get day and date on there, because it's not always easy to pull that off. And Bus Simulator and Dice Legacy are two other day and dates that actually will be good for the service. So yeah, I'm just excited about GeForce Now overall for the whole month. For me personally, I'm just waiting for Kena and Hot Wheels.
Yes,
that's
sir.
the two big, like, since the roadmap, that they announced those two titles, I saw that, I said, that's my month right there. Like, that's the two games for me personally. But it's just strong overall. And I mean, they just keep throwing this stuff out week after week after week, month after month. They're working with the content creators. They're working with people everywhere. They're bringing on more content creators to share like the news and the good stuff. They're building out a community. I love what GeForce Now is doing, and just really enjoying the news for them all month. And we needed it, because honestly, a couple months before this, it was slow, right? We had slow times. It was slow for gaming anyway, but even for GeForce Now, it was feeling a little stale. And I said the same thing, but this month, super excited for what GFN's bringing.
Right. Can I just say something? And this is not a shot at anyone, but you just mentioned Kena, I can never say the name of that game, coming at the end of this month. So again, you know what's coming, right? This game is been told by us, by the GeForce Now team, that's going to be here same day release. My thing is like, is that so difficult for Google Stadia to do? Right?
I knew you were going
I'm
there.
just seriously. Everyone else is doing. People like, why do you need a roadmap? Your reason proves it, right? Yes, this week might not be the best week, but this AAA game or AA, I don't know what you want to call it, that you know is coming later this month. And you're like, you know what? I can live without the games this week because I know Kena's coming, Kena, whatever. Luna does it. They give us a September roadmap, right? Xbox gives you a first half of the month roadmap and then second half of it. My thing is like, why are we still getting like this stealth release? Anyway, we'll get to Google.
Everyone's doing it, man. At this point, like this year, everyone started doing it. Even GFN last year, when we were covering them, it was a weekly like rush. We didn't know the roadmap, right? But at the beginning of this year, GFN started doing it, and then Luna started doing it with their article, and like everyone's been doing it, and the roadmaps have been great. You're right. The only one that really hasn't been given it to us, and even PS Now gives us a roadmap for
give us a roadmap.
What we're looking at. So yeah, Stadia definitely. We've always complained about just not having a real clear picture of what's coming when.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into Duncan, man. What's your take here?
First of all, I want to bring this back to Luna for 1 wee second, because there's a game on GFN here which went day and date on to Luna, which we forgot to discuss in Dice Legacy. I know people have been talking, will Luna get day and date releases? Yes, they will. Dice Legacy is another one they have got, and that just sneaked its way on there, which is great to see. So I think it is actually worth mentioning that Luna is doing that as well.
That's true.
For me, GFN, that's copy and paste another consistent week here. They have got the biggest game releasing this week, which they could get with Life is Strange, True Colors, and the other. What game could they have got?
I agree. I like the head shaking. I agree with you.
Tales of Arise.
There we go.
Just got far greater
There
reach.
we go. I'm
But I
salty
agree.
with
I
that
agree.
one too.
Sorry, Duncan.
Yeah. It's all opinions. Everybody's got opinions, and everybody gets heated up about them, and everybody can just. I don't care if you want to call me a whipper and just say I'm talking out from a Jack say, but I think that this is just it's another GFN week, as I recall it. It is strong. It is steady. Life is Strange is obviously the big one there. More day-and-date releases. The game I'm going to pick out as something slightly different, and a game which, if you're not really big into the PC sort of space, and you may not be aware of it, is Transport Fever 2. That is actually a lot bigger than people realize. That going to the Epic Game Store, it's already on Steam. So I think I would say that's a fair chance of becoming an Epic free game. I know people are going to laugh at it when they see it, but this is a PC game. It is, you think of it like SimCity, but on a much grander scale, and you have to get your railways and airports and link up the different cities and get them to expand out and stuff like that. And you can start from the horse-drawn carriage era. It is actually a real fun game, and there is some real great YouTubers out here who go and cover this game and make their own wee maps up and everything. And we're talking hundreds of thousands of views of people doing this, so it's not like small potatoes. We're talking it's very substantial. So that is a game to maybe have a look at if you're looking for a big sort of deep sort of PC game.
Okay. Duncan, the games that you pick for the most games that you said about, it's interesting to me. But this is, I guess, if you're a PC guy, this is.
See, that's the best thing to be. People have different tastes in games, and that's
true.
And that's why GFN are doing such a great job, because there's games like this, and then there's the games of Life is Strange, which is at the complete and opposite end of the spectrum. They are just hitting it all over the show. So I like them sort of games, but that's just me.
Yeah. No, if you're a PC gamer, and again, simulators or games like this is big for the platform. So getting it, is huge. So not my cup of tea, but again, like you were saying, people have their taste, and I'm glad that as PC gamer, they are providing games like that for you, for sure. But let's check in with gamers, sir. What's your take on GFN news this week?
Oh man, so I've come to a pretty steady place with GFN and judging what they're doing with their releases, to the extent of I think they're doing it better than anyone else. I mean, if I'm being completely honest, every game every week might not be for you, but they still have something coming every week, every month. It's just consistent, and it's hard for me to say they're doing bad because we have nothing to measure them against. Truly, there are no competitors to GFN's release schedule, hands down. We just can't do it. And when they actually release games like Life is Strange, or even if they miss a few titles, but big games like Life is Strange that are released everywhere else, you look at what's around it, like what else is in that sphere of releases, and it's like, holy shit, yeah, you got all this, but you also have Life is Strange. Okay, yeah, well, sure. I can't say it's a bad week. It's hell, it's a GFN week. That's what it is to me now. It's GFN week, and when production slows down or ramps down, then we're gonna say, oh man, GFN, they're having a pretty bad week, but that's actually a typical week, right, for everyone else. So I can't judge it. I'm just gonna say it's a GFN week. It's what they do, man. It's good. It's what they do.
True. Fair enough. Yeah. There's no, you're right, and good take with that. When it comes to consistency and the amount of games, I mean, when have we seen GFN give us less than 5 games, right, in a week's time? Then we're not even talking about a month's time. So they've been giving us 5+ consistently for the longest time. So shout outs, I guess, to them for that.
Yeah, just to go back to gamers' point there, if if these games dropped onto Xbox this week, or if these dropped onto Stadia, or I can't say any of this because I dropped so many games, but generally, you know what I mean? We would be saying they had an absolutely stellar week. GFN standards are completely different to the other platforms, and that is going to be a burden. It's like for them going there. It's going to be they have to maintain this now, which is unfair for them basically because they are just knocking it out there.
True. Okay, GT, we covered you on this, right? All right. So Monkey, let's get to you, sir. What's your take on this?
Yeah, solid week, like everyone said. I just want to highlight the two Ubisoft games that are coming day and date. We sort of expected it, but it's good to know that they're coming. Far Cry 6, I hope that is going to perform better than Far Cry 5. I really struggled. Yeah, on GFN, really struggled with that game. Really struggled to maintain 60 frames per second. It was a sketchy 40-45, which made the game for me personally not a good experience. Graphically wise, textures, everything, but was good. It just would not maintain, a steady frame rate. Tried several times across several devices. So let's hope their quality control and that's a wee bit better. The folks know they're aware of the issues on that game, so I believe they will be actively looking, sort of for a fix, because I'm not the only one to have had that with that game. Riders Republic, as much as I didn't really enjoy it during the beta test, not my cup of tea. I can see that being very popular. Think of sort of like a Forza or a Crew 2, but with downhill mountain biking, snowboarding, skiing, wingsuits, all that jazz. And there's so many different sort of skills. There's skill challenges and things you can compete against your friends. That's going to be a big game. There's a big market out there for that sort of game. So it's really good that they're coming. I'm not going to talk too much about the games this week. Nothing for me there, really. Like everyone said, Life is Strange is great. What I want to quickly highlight, I know it's not in the notes, but we got this news during the week. Crusader Kings 3, Stellaris, and Hearts of Iron 4 are finally out of maintenance. For me, they needed to be down. They needed to be down to be fixed, but they were down for way too long, man. Like, way too long. It was all you ever read on Reddit. When are these games coming back?
Yeah.
I pay for GeForce now just to play these games, because they have a mass following. So they're back. Hopefully they don't go down again anytime soon. But another two games are down. Well, Conan Exile's DLC still isn't working. They're still trying to fix that, and Divinity Original Sin 2 is down for maintenance. The new update hasn't worked, so they need to try and fix that. So I'll bring in the negativity this week. I'll be the bad guy and think they need to improve that going forward. Games are under maintenance for too long. I don't mind them going down. Sometimes fixes need to be applied, but that was just taking the biscuit with that one.
Right. I'm glad you said that, and I do think that's something that needs to be addressed. When games go in maintenance, I mean, look at Death Stranding. That was a really long maintenance time cycle too. So people, my goodness, if Tales goes in maintenance right now, I will riot, right? Because that's hold up, no, it's not even on GeForce now, which I'll get to that in a bit. But if it goes in maintenance on Shadow, all right, because I'm like really into that game right now, and to tell me like I can't play it in the cloud, because of maintenance for, I mean, how long did Death Stranding go maintenance for? Months, right? I don't know. I think there should be a better solution to the maintenance. I don't know the whole background to that, but it might be a complicated process. But it is an issue because people pay to play these games, and it goes in maintenance and they can't play it for some time. And yeah, that needs to be talked about for sure. So appreciate you bringing that up. But my biggest thing with GFN, again, solid week. They got, I think Duncan was saying, one of the biggest games released this week, but Life Strange, True Colors. But my thing is, I want to get to the point where I don't ever want to open up my shadow PC to play PC games. And what that means for me is the games that come out for PC should be in GFN. I mean, I'm not talking about like console games. I'm talking about like if it's, I get it, you know, console and PC are different. But if the game is releasing on PC, I would love it to be available in GFN, so I don't have to worry about downloading Shadow and installing it. So I know we're still early in this cloud game space, and GFN talked about it's a matter of, you know, when, not if they ever come back. So I'm hoping down the line that we'll see more consistency with them getting games like Tales of Arise. I mean, I was bummed out when I had to use Shadow. Again, try not to use it as much. But yeah, I would love to see those games come. Kingdom Hearts 3 come. But again, shout outs to them because they are getting Guardians of the Galaxy and again Dying Light 2. So shout outs to them for that. But I just want to see more of these, especially like Japanese RPGs, make it to the platform same day release. But that's just my take. But I would say good, decent week overall for GFN. Anyone else want to add to GFN before we move to Google Stadia?
I think that's a brilliant question by Ashes to Ashes, or Point.
Which one?
The one about, I wonder if they will drop GFN support, considering you're creating a separate cloud, Ubisoft Plus, with Stadia and Luna, and PC only being Ubisoft Plus. I think that's got me thinking. So it has, and pondering.
So I seen that question and you beat me to it, Duncan. It's a good question. You're absolutely right. I don't think they will drop support. If anything, with Ubisoft supporting the cloud going forward, I hope we have Ubisoft integration within the GFN app. I want to link my account because having to add a game to your library, shut down Ubisoft Connect, go over, and then, you know, start playing on GFN. That's not great if you're gaming mobile. Yeah, you only have to do it once, but can we not integrate it? They do it with Steam. The Steam integration is great. We still don't have full integration with Epic yet as well. Don't know what's going on with that either. That's been a bit of a poor show for me personally. Yeah, I don't see them dropping it. If anything, it's going to remain the same, but going forward, let's integrate it, guys. Let's strike something up. You know, Ubisoft are a big supporter of the cloud. I'm sure they can work something out, you know. Both big companies, both loads of clever people working for them that know the trade inside out. So, you know, let's make that happen. Let's get more gamers on board with things like that.
Yeah. And I know they listen. We've seen them make significant improvement. By the way, Ubisoft Plus, the speed that it takes now, remember before it used to be really slow, but they've worked on improving the speed, so they listen. And hopefully these issues that we're having here, I know they watch this and they watch, you know, a lot of us here at GTP and Duncan, so it's good for us to always talk about these things. So I hope you guys are listening, and let's get some fixes, right, to this platform. But anyone else before
I just move on to the Ubisoft thing. I forgot to mention this last week. I'm not recommending this to do it, or it's let your conscience be your guide. The two-factor authentication, if you turn off two-factor authentication for your Ubisoft account, you go straight in now. You don't have to.
Yeah, that's what I, yeah.
Yeah, right. And it's, again, if you feel happy enough to do that, work away. If you still want your security, put it there. I'm just letting people know, just for the So, if that's really, really annoying and you feel happy, or maybe happy is not probably the right word, relaxed enough that you don't need to have your two-factor authentication, you can just jump straight into the games.
True.
So I'm on the other side of that. I ain't turning that off, man. Ain't no scabby scammer getting anywhere near my accounts, man. No chance. I will wait the extra few minutes to make sure only I have access to my account. So that's the other end of it. Like, I am stern with that stuff. Like, privacy is, I don't give it up.
True. And again, it's good. I'm not telling anyone what I do because I don't want y'all to try to get me. But you
Those
know,
scabby scammers, man. You gotta watch
they
them.
out there, man.
They're
They
out
out there. But yeah, good stuff, Duncan. Good stuff, Monkey. And
Hey, Hell Monkey, I'm gonna use that. Scabby scammers, man. That's my new thing. That's all me now.
Watch, man.
Still in
watch for them.
But yeah, let's hop onto Stadia. So I think they had a good week this week, right? We had 2 stealth drops. We had Kadmari. I can never say this. The massive reroll, right? That was one stealth drop. We had Darkwood, which was another stealth drop, and then we had this is our 6th pro game, right? This month with PGA Tour 2K21, and I think I might have an idea why that came as pro game, so we'll get into that. And then we had, like we've discussed, one of the biggest games this week be available on this platform same day with Life is Strange. And then we have some more free-to-play days with Madden 22, which, as you guys know, is a pretty new game, so kudos to that. And then Rainbow Six is back with another free-to-play. So I would say overall, this was quite a decent week. I have some stuff to say, but I want to hear what the panel have to say before I say my piece. So let's start with Gamer with Stadia.
I think it was a good week for Stadia. I mean, or good month so far for Stadia. Given Stadia's, what we expect of Stadia. Like I said, I can't compare them to GFN because then that's just unfair and all of that good stuff. But for Stadia, it was good. It was fine. Life is Strange. I purchased it there as well. I'm just a tech nut, and I think that's part of the problem with me in Stadia. I'll buy every game that drops on the platform just to see how it runs, just to see the type of effort that guys put into it. But will I stay there and play there? Probably not. I'll give it a nice go if it's good, but if I can play better somewhere else, then I'll move over. I agree.
What did you discover with Life is Strange with the Stadia port?
Well, I enjoy it a lot more on GFN. The frame rates are a lot more stable. They're a little higher. The graphics and processing, everything just looks better on GFN. It's as close to local as you can get for the cloud. And that's kind of my measuring stick right now. Like, okay, which cloud platform can simulate that local experience as close as possible versus being one-to-one. I know it will not surpass local, but I want to get as close as possible. And GFN does that.
Yeah. It's crazy because before, I was making fun of you guys that compare GTP, Chief, and you. With just the game looks and runs good enough, but I think you guys have started brainwashing me to where I'm finding these little faults, man. And it's crazy because I own it on GFN and I own it in Stadia. And some people might say 30 FPS is doable for a game like this, but man, there's just something about the GFN port that I find myself playing it on there more than I play it on Stadia, and this is rare. Normally, play most games, and if I own a GFN and Stadia, I play it mostly on Stadia. But this one, for sure, there's something about it that runs smooth on GFN compared to Stadia. But I echo that. So, GTP, what's your take on here, man?
I'm just gonna I pretty much agree with everything that gamers come out with because I follow Stadia for a lot of the same reasons. I just got to know how stuff is running on there. I just want to know, what kind of effort was put in. I haven't jumped into Life is Strange anywhere. I've had a ton of stuff going on this week, and I knew I wasn't going to have time. So I held off because I would have had to buy it for multiple platforms and cover it. So I just didn't jump into it. But, the 30 FPS harkens back, and Ben was mentioning it, to my Darksiders 2 analysis or comparison of GeForce Now and Stadia. And I was just blown away at how horrible that port was performing on Stadia. And for people that get nausea, eye fatigue, headaches, and things like that from gaming, or from gaming 30 FPS or choppy frame rates and stuff like that, games like those will affect you. I can play a game at 45 to 60 FPS on GFN for hours with no problem, but if I jump onto a game on Stadia or anywhere that's getting me 30 or less or jumping around, give me about 10 to 15 minutes, and the motion sickness and the headaches and stuff start to come in. That's why PC gaming became such a big deal to me, high refresh rates and things like that, because I went from a person who would have headaches constantly from gaming my whole life to, wow, I can game for hours with no headache, no sickness, and I never knew it was frame rate before till many years later. So it's a big deal. So I don't know why we can't get more games on Stadia at 60, other than the fact that they're not making them do it like they did with other games. Now, with that being said, though, looking at Stadia as its own little situation and seeing a lot of the negativity that has been coming out, this is a nice week for them. I was surprised to see the Madden 2022 free play weekend, because I'm like, a new one? Nice. An actual new game that you can play for free this weekend on Stadia. You know what I mean? And I like that. It wasn't Ghost Recon again. They kept giving us Breakpoint and stuff. I'm like, I don't want this free again for another weekend. So I was actually really happy with, and I think Siege again is on a free play or something so that was awesome. Yeah. So you've got, and right at the top of their store page, right? NFL 22, Life is Strange, True Colors, free, and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. So good week for Stadia on all that. It's great weekend to jump into those games. A great game with Life is Strange on there. But I continue to have all these concerns about these ports, and I feel like they're getting worse as we go. It could just be me, but I've tested almost like every game on Stadia minus probably about 10 or 12, and I just don't get it. I just don't get a lot of the ports. I feel like it's getting worse, and it's kind of concerning me.
Yeah. Can I ask a question? And I'm going to get to you guys and the news, but do you think about the 2 free games that they kind of gave us this week, right? With Madden and PG, the golfing game, PGA Tour. It's a big sports game that released this week that's kind of missing from this platform, right? Do you guys think it has anything to do with that? Because I'll be honest with you, I'm not feeling too good about them not getting this game that they got the last 2 years.
What game is that? I don't recognize any other games. What was sports games coming this week?
NBA 2K22.
Come on, Duncan.
Come on, man. Yeah, but
yeah, man, they had to. I mean, it wouldn't be a surprise, right? Because you want to direct attention a little bit. So here's Madden 22 to play for free. Here's some more Siege. Here's PGA, Tour 21 for Pro. Because guess what? We don't have NBA 2K22.
Like what the heck? Like, let's just pause right there real quick. Why? Why is that missing? That is, to me, is like a huge red flag question for this platform.
Well, and 2K22 is your game, so you notice it more. But I mean, we're MotoGP 21, we're F1 2021, we're 2K 2022, and it's looking like next year you're not going to have like Madden 23, FIFA 23 if there are no new contracts, which there aren't so far. So this is why I'm saying the ports that are seemingly just getting worse to me in testing, and then seeing the releases ramping down at this point in the life of Stadia. I know it's new, but I should see it ramping up. And I'm really, really not happy with the releases that are happening, the lack of, or a lot of the ports.
Yeah, and I'm going to jump in there with you, GTP. So this is regression. As a whole, if you look at the full picture, it's total regression. You can't say this is progress. You can't even say it's stagnation. It's regression. and I love Stadia. Everyone knows this. I try to be very much so down the line with this thing. But I do have to say that I'm very, very disappointed in the lack of 2K22 release on the platform. And it hurts, man. It hurts because I put a lot of people onto the platform. A lot of my guys that came from console, like, hey, man, let's get on the 2K21. Let's play. I'm like, cool, let's do it. It's on Stadia, man. Play anywhere, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, dude, where's 2K22? I'm like, well, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
So I feel bad.
Right. You know, half of my friends list, no joke, is 2K plays, and my friends list has never looked so empty in my life because no one is in Stadia playing that game anymore. They all migrated to Xbox or PS5 to play 2K. 2K is one of those games that people literally will buy a console for. I know it's crazy. I know people might not see, why, but it's the truth. Yeah. And for them not to get that game it's like what is going on, guys? Like that was one of the things that I'm like, yo, something's not going on right here, man. I don't know, it's not good.
But good. What makes it even worse is when I'm gonna call them Stadia apologists, and I mean I might get flamed for this, but that's okay. I mean, light me up. But they'll come out and say, well, 2K21 was bad. It was bad. Do you want another bad game on the platform? Yes, I do. Yes. Absolutely.
I clocked in 180 hours 2K. I clocked in 140 hours 2K20. So bad as it is, people will still play 2K. So give me the port, man.
Absolutely.
Give me the port. So let's just, I know I still didn't get, but I did want to segue into something because I feel like it might be connected, right? So someone from the Google Stadia team got a little promotion. And I just want to, since we're on Stadia news topic, just want to open it up and get y'all's take on this situation. So you guys know Jack Buser was the dude. I would say the dude after Phil. It was this dude, right? After the whole shakeup with John Justice going, my thing is like, if this guy is still there, there's hope for this platform. Well, he got a promotion. He's now going to be leading, not leading, but involved in the gaming segment of Google Cloud. What is this, right? What does this mean for the platform? I think we've talked about white labeling here multiple times. Just want to know, does this move fall closer to that line? And if so, what does this mean for Stadia? And what does this mean for poor Phil? Like, why didn't Phil get that promotion, right? That's just another question I'm going to throw out there. But I'm just going to open this up. What does this Jack Buser move mean for the Google Stadia platform? Anyone can hop on here. Don't make me start calling them people, man.
Okay, I'll jump in really quick and keep it brief, right?
All right, cool.
Personally, there are two sides to this coin. You can see it as a bad thing or a good thing.
Okay.
I believe it's a good thing, only because he has insights into Stadia. He started with Stadia, and perhaps he can champion Stadia within different levels of this chain, right? That's how I view that. But actions speak louder than words, and right now I see Stadia as a whole in a regression mode. So I think overall it isn't the. I don't believe it's the best thing for Stadia for that guy to be leaving. I need to see who they're gonna bring in to replace him, and then I can give a better assessment. But right now I don't want to say it's doom and gloom for Stadia, but I don't think it'll reap any immediate benefits for Stadia either.
Okay, fair enough. How about I'm calling people now? GTP, what's your take on this?
Oh, No, it's it's the same thing. Look, and this has been happening for months, right? We get someone that leaves, or there's a turnover happening, or someone new fills a position, and it's just like Gamer said. There's two sides to that coin. You see that as a positive move that they're trying to change things because it wasn't working, or you see it as a negative move or a regression because things weren't working, right? And when things aren't working, a company can do two things. They can double down, and they can switch things up and try to make it a success, or they can slowly gear things down to a point, that they almost don't exist anymore. And just from everything I've been watching this year, from February to now, as a whole, it just looks like a steady, slow gear down all year long. Now, could that change rolling into next year? Who knows? But right now, it just doesn't look great. So moves like this, for someone like me who sees it that way, is more in the negative light. I could totally understand how someone could spin it into a negative or a positive as well, but I'm having so much trouble right now this fall. Like when we covered Stadia together last year, I was getting more and more hype for cloud. I was playing more and more Stadia, and where we're at this year talking about the platform is nowhere near where I thought we would be. I thought we would be on a totally different level with Stadia a year later this September versus last year. So it's just difficult, and I just don't think this is necessarily a good move. That's a great thing for Stadia. I think it's more gear down, but like Gamer said, we'll have to see what happens with it.
True. All right, Duncan, what's your take on all Stadia related news this week?
See, I just like this. I had my perfect sort of Stadia comment to come out here, and then because I was slagging off some NBA, you decided to go. We'll go into the bad news of the week. So, okay, I will start off with this Jack Buser one here. It could have positives. It could have negatives. I would advise people who haven't read the article, go over to SedNet and give it a read. It is illuminating, and the word that keeps on coming up in the article for me is YouTube, and how this is going to affect YouTube, and partnerships and things like that were mentioned again. So I think the echoing of the signs of white labeling are still very much there. And Jack Buser was about the only person over in Stadia over the last wee while who could actually go out there and talk and get people infused about the platform. Because if you remember E3 period last year, he was on a number of wee interviews, and he was talking really well, and he got people really, really hyped up. Who have they got now? They've lost Jack, they've lost Aaron Hoffman John, they have lost Jade, they have
that's a great question, Duncan. Who do they have now? Seriously, like, great question.
Yeah, I think we'll have to suck it and see if Google is playing the big picture and they're not siloed off, which this move could actually help Stadia that way, because Jack Buser's there, and hopefully they get people talking, because as we know, Google, they're all in their different silos. If they can get people talking together, they can use the Google Cloud stuff to maybe use as negotiating to bring games to Stadia. Or you're putting EA is it EA? No, EA was someone else. Activision. I know Activision use Google Cloud, and they're using that with YouTube as well. We will pay you a wee bit more. You have to put these games on the Stadia, or you get the services for a bit cheaper. I think that they could use that as a bit of leverage here, because he's overlooking the whole Google for Cloud. Do I think that's going to happen? I think history has shown us that this probably won't happen, and I really hope it will. And we just have to wait and see. And unfortunately, Stadia is just limping along at this moment in time. Ubisoft is keeping the big games coming. It's what we talked about when SG&E closed down. In contracts were already signed for a lot of these games coming, And now we're getting into the period where these contracts probably weren't signed, and we're now seeing that. We're not seeing games coming, NBA, and it's just a worry. I think they need, even if it's a lousy one, I think they need a Stadia Connect out there just to get people infused. Because if you go onto Reddit and even on Twitter now, who goes onto Twitter? Which idiots go onto Twitter? You can see people are really starting to get upset about what is going on or what isn't going on. This week on Reddit has been fun. A lot of these posts about games. What games are coming? NBA not coming. There just needs to be something done there. But we'll go back to the blog post of this week. And if you're just in the Stadia bubble, you do not. All you care about is Stadia. You don't look outside Stadia. You don't see what's going on, and Stadia is your only platform of choice. It was a good Stadia week, and you got an extra pro game if you can get it to work, and you've also got True Colors coming. You've got the free-to-play weekends. It was a reasonable week for them. But I want to highlight a big positive here, which I bet they're not going to do until I've just said that, then they're going to just make me into a liar. Crusader has just done a big, massive relaunch, basically, and they have got giveaways into the 100K mark. That's $100,000 in giveaways, like on a monthly basis. So if you're
Facebook money,
Facebook money, yeah, this is what Stadia should have been doing with Crusader back then. Yeah. But yes, they are starting to pump a lot of money into that. So if you play Crusader, and it's a free-to-play game as well, or it is, isn't it? Yes. Go jump on that, and you could actually get a fair bit of money because they are giving that out hand over fist.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Duncan. Monkey, let's get to you, man. What's your take on all of this Stadia news?
So I'll try not to repeat anything anyone else has said, but for me, looking at this, it's like that GIF or GIF, however you want to pronounce it, and another one leaves, another one bites the dust. People are leaving Stadia and no one's coming in the door. Yeah, we got that girl or woman, Shaka, to run the social media side of things. Absolutely has improved. But looking forward as a company as a whole, as a gaming platform that isn't getting the big titles, and you can cry wolf and say, well, GFN isn't getting NBA or NHL or FIFA or Madden, neither is Luna. Well, they don't have their own storefronts. Their services, their subscription services, one allows you to play so many games through, a couple of different channels, and Luna. GFN is letting you subscribe to use their machines to play the games you already own from other storefronts. So when Stadia doesn't get these games and people keep leaving, and every time something bad happens, it sort of just gets, overlooked and swept under the carpet, like, oh, it'll be fine, everything's going to be fine. Oh, how do we know it's going to be fine? You ain't telling us anything. Like, we don't know where we're going to be, towards the end of the year. We have no idea what's going to happen. And I'm just at a point now where I don't even want to talk about Stadia. Like, I really don't even want to talk about it because there's never nothing good. There's never nothing good coming out of it, man. Like, seriously. And we sit here and we have our opinions, and we all share varying opinions on many different things. But for me, gamers said it perfectly. It's regression. That's exactly what it is. It's regression. People are leaving, games ain't coming. How do you, invest in this platform? We've just seen a state of play for Sony with some big titles coming out, massive exclusives, which, you know, as much as I hate Sony, I want to buy a PS5 because I want to play Spider-Man 2 and I want to play Wolverine. So I do when these games come. Maybe by that time I might be able to get access to a PlayStation 5. But yeah, I don't know how Jack Buser leaving and games not coming are helping this platform. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know. I just don't know.
Just as you mentioned, just as you mentioned the PlayStation 5 conference, I got a DM of someone I encountered as a friend because we speak on a daily basis via Twitter, and the question he asked me was, how the hell do we have a Stadia or logo gate at a PlayStation 5 event? It's because the community...
Teachy.
The Teachy stuff. It is just absolutely wild. It's just feeding back into this. Everything is a drama in the Stadia community. Just harping on what Hellmonkey was saying. I can tell you what my favorite show of the week is, bar this one, of course, on my own channel. It's the GFN show, because we just sit and talk about games the whole time in that. When you do anything about Stadia, it is some sort of fucking drama. And I did say fucking, it didn't say the F word. It is just absolutely frustrating, because I would love to do nothing but a Stadia show talking about good stuff, and that is not actually not me trying to make a pun there. I do just want to just talk about games coming and all the positivity out there, but every single week there seems to be some sort of commotion or drama out there. Stadia has done something, Stadia hasn't done something, some big game isn't coming. And I think Hellmonkey Gamers summed it up the best. It is just regression, and I think a lot of people can. There's just two camps. There's no middle ground. People are just going, "Oh, Stadia is." Sorry, not two camps is probably the wrong word. No middle ground. There doesn't seem to be. You can't really have a proper conversation. You're either for it or against it. There's nothing. You can't be saying negative stuff because you want it to improve. But there is an obvious regression going on.
Yeah.
Here's the thing for me as well. I am so frustrated because I know the quality of Stadia. So streaming wise, latency wise, experience wise, it's really, really good for me. So it is. But they don't have the content. Other platforms are getting the content that I want to play. And although NBA 2K22 is not my content, Football Manager is my sort of content, and F1 is my sort of content. So NHL, if NHL came to Stadia, I would play that as well. They're not getting the content, but the service and the quality of the tech is good. Although I feel it can improve in areas, i.e. expanded to more countries. It's another thing that seems to have... People keep saying, "Oh, it's going to happen, it's going to happen." When is anything going to happen with Stadia? It's frustrating, man. It's really frustrating.
You know, Monkeys, you were talking, I just kind of lost my mind because I was just thinking about like other games that I actually enjoyed on this platform that I'm not going to see a sequel for. And if you're Stadians again, if this is the only platform, this should really concern the crap out of you, right? Judgment. Where's that sequel?
The new Judgment, yeah.
Where's that sequel? Marvel?
Performed really well on Stadia as well, didn't it?
Yeah, the fact that we haven't seen a Guardians of the Galaxy announcement yet for Stadia. We know GFN is getting it, Dying Light. Like, guys, what the hell is what's going on, man? Like, how anyway. I mean, like Judgment, they just got the remastered. Sega ported the game over. that should not be that. I know this, some political stuff going on with that game and PC and stuff like that, but shell out money, man. People will people get the game on the platform. Shell out money.
We hear all the time. We hear all the time that Stadia's just sort of slowing it down. They're playing the long game. Yeah, that's dangerous, man. You can't play the long game without any content.
Yeah.
See, this time next year, if we're talking that F1 2023 and NBA 2K 23, etc., don't come to the platform, man.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
People are going to be pissed.
Somebody said it is depressing, and KB said it here. Like, I'm frustrated because, again, like I want to play these games. These are games that I've invested in, paid money for. My wallet is open to pay money again for the sequels, and the fact that I'm not going to be able to play these games in Stadia, to me, that shows like this is a reality that, oh shit, like this platform is not looking good. Normally I don't say that, but this is an issue. And if anyone else is not seeing that, man, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's crazy.
I remember going back over this last 6 to 9 months where we were getting mocked for calling out F1 not coming, Football Manager not coming, MotoGP coming. It doesn't matter to you until it's the game that matters to you. Sure. And F1 is a European, it's a more European sort of sport for the Stadia market. So I was kicking off a bit more about that, Hell Monkey and other people. I've been joking about you with NBA. That's only that's a minority support and all this sort of. But I know it is an absolutely big sort of game. It's people need to. For us, or for me anyway, I could be out there saying Stadia is the best thing from sliced bread, and I would be getting all the likes of the day and things like that. saying all the negative sort of stuff is actually harder to do than just go out there and say everything is rosy. And I just can't do that.
Yeah. So the argument that people used to make is, oh well, last year, the games weren't announced like Cyberpunk. It wasn't announced when it was announced for the console. Just give it time. That's the argument that most people made for Stadia. Give it time. Cyberpunk wasn't announced. Eventually it was. These games are eventually gonna. That's what I was hoping for. I was like, shoot, we're nearing 2K's release date. 2K's here. Nowhere to be found. That's an issue. Anyway, don't want to beat a dead horse, but it's not looking good, man. That's all I can say. Anyone else want to add to the Stadia news?
Let's get away from it, man. Let's move on.
Yeah, I need to take an upper now. We're straight away.
Let's go. Xbox Cloud Gaming it is, man. Not a lot of big news. We did get Football Manager 2022 coming same day release on this platform. Again, this is one of those same day release that is big. Football Manager, if you guys don't know, it's actually a pretty big game.
Bigger than
Probably
NBA.
not in the States. Yeah. Probably not in the States, but it's huge. And so for them to land in the cloud day one is kind of a big deal. And I think we haven't got so the way Xbox Cloud Gaming announces the news, we kind of get the first half early and then we get the second half. I don't think we've got the second half of releases of games that are coming to the platform yet, did we? Monkey, you muted.
No, sorry. They should be coming. What's the date today? This should be this week, I believe.
Okay, so again,
possibly next week. Actually, now I think
prep for
about it.
that because the month is not over yet. So
No.
I always feel they have the bangers at the second announcement. So we might even begin more bigger games announced for this platform, which we'll talk about in the next podcast if it is announced. But yeah, not too much. There are some little indie games, nothing really not indies, but little games that came to the platform. Nothing really caught my attention. But if you guys want to bring that up. But I'm just going to open up to you guys. What are your thoughts about Xbox Cloud Gaming news for this week?
Okay, I'll jump in first. I think they messed up last week when they did the announcements because all but one of the games came to cloud. The only one that didn't come to cloud was Final Fantasy 13. I gave them a bit of stick saying that it was another regression. I'm having a bit of fun there with the amount of games coming, but they need to get their marketing on point because their games are coming to the cloud and they're forgetting to put them on in the marketing material.
Yep. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'm with Duncan on that because when they announced it, they only announced 4 games, but there's since been another 3 added, or 2 at least. Yeah, 3 because Nuclear Throne, the Artful Escape, and Crown Trick.
Let me pull it up.
All arrived. I've got it up right now. They're all there.
Breath Edge as well.
Added. Yeah, so Breath Edge, yeah, that was announced. That was fine. We knew that was coming. It's been a slow couple of weeks for Xbox. It's not been great. The games don't really interest me. The one that did, which is the game preview in Craftopia, is not getting the greatest reviews. But as a game preview, as we said previously, it's not going to be the final finished article. But just like we were talking about there, Football Manager's going to xCloud. I don't need to buy that for PC this year. I don't need to stop wondering which cloud service I'm going to play that on. I'll check it out on Game Pass. I know it's a watered down version, usually on the consoles, more than playable, but there might be a few features missing from there, which will make me go and purchase that on Steam and play via Shadow or maximum settings or the like. But before I do, I can jump in and try it out on xCloud, so I am looking forward to that. Other than that, not much to say about the cloud with Xbox this week.
Yeah, not the best week, and I will be 100% honest with that. Really not impressed, but hopefully, right, we get an announcement with them soon. If anyone else want to hop onto the Xbox gaming news?
I'll say the same thing I kind of say, like, there's no way every company can have, like, a killer week every single week in gaming, and sometimes it's a bit planned. I mean, look how quiet Luna was, and then all of a sudden, we get all those announcements, and xCloud's been doing that a lot this year as well, and I know, like, as we get into October, November, December, it's going to be a steady run of the remaining games still yet to come that were announced in E3 that are all coming to, xCloud for Game Pass for all 3 console, cloud, and PC. So while not a super exciting week, the announcement for Football Manager is good, but I kind of expect September to be a little boring for xCloud anyway, because there really is going to be a lot going on for them the last 3 months of the year.
Yeah, sure. I'm just reading the chat. It's actually, yeah.
Anyone
else want to add to the Xbox Cloud Gaming news?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot more to add outside of, very disappointing. Very disappointing week. But that isn't to take away from everything else they've done and the progression they've made and the exclusives they have coming. See, so they can afford these weeks because we know they have a few bangers coming pretty soon. So that's okay. Whereas with Stadia, I don't believe you can afford many weeks like this and without us knowing what you have coming outside of, Ubisoft.
Yeah. Again, we've stated on here, like, the fall lineup belongs to, unless Luna gets like EA, play. I think it's safe to say the fall lineup probably belongs to Xbox Cloud Gaming. Again, they can get Flight Simulator to the cloud. There's rumors of the new Battlefield coming. There's Halo, there's Forza, and there's more news we haven't even heard yet. I mean, so you're right. They can afford to, but I'm actually kind of impressed with GFN's fall lineup, man. It's, to me, it's Xbox, and then it's GFN for me, and then Stadia. I think Luna's gonna make some noise, but GFN, man, Dying Light 2, Kena, Marvel, and of course Far Cry. Far Cry is a game that xCloud is probably not gonna see. So I mean, they have a pretty solid fall lineup too. So yeah. But not an impressive week. I think that's the message most of panel members the same with Xbox Cloud Gaming this week. Anyone else want to add to that? All right. Any questions you guys see in the chat that we have about like 3 or 5 minutes? Any questions you guys want to
PlayStation now?
Let's get into it. I thought we covered that last week. No?
No,
well, maybe
that was this week?
Tekken 7, Moonlighter, Killing Floor 2, and I think there was a couple of other. It wasn't a great month, but it was just steady Eddie sort of games coming. I'm probably going to be. I forgot a game, but that's the games I can remember.
I would have sworn.
I've got them up just now, guys. So Tekken 7 arrived. That's only there to February next year. Killing Floor 2, Final Fantasy 7, Windbound. That's a beautiful little game, by the way. Pathfinder Kingmaker, the definitive edition. And Moonlighter, as you said, Duncan. And all of them are streaming on the consoles and PC, but not Android or iOS devices, which I was hoping to hear from this day of play, but again, nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Don't know what's going on.
Nothing. It's an okay month for PS Now, man. I would have sworn Tekken 7 was there already, but I guess I'm wrong. But anyway, good game if you guys haven't played it yet, but yeah, not the most impressive week for them. But again, Luna came out on top, as the poll is showing here, guys, and good job, like, letting us know in the polls, right? 46%, 65 votes. Says Luna's up top by a large margin, and then Stadia's third place with 18%, Xbox is 15%. I feel like this, Gamer, would you say this is pretty accurate?
Yeah, it is actually.
Okay,
I'm surprised.
Good, yeah.
But that's good because people in the cloud space, man, they're loyalists. But it's like, damn, how can you be a loyalist with only 2 years in or a year in?
Yeah.
But they're definitely loyalists.
They are. So I think this is fair. Again, Luna with 46, Stadia with 18, GFN with 20%, and then Xbox Cloud Game with 15. Very accurate. So good job, guys, with being honest with your polling. So we do this every week, and it's pretty fun to see at the end of the podcast who comes out on top. So that's pretty much it for this week's episode. It's good to be back here. It's good to have the panel members back here. I don't know, we might do a guest next time, but it's always good just having more time hearing all you guys and, getting to learn what stood out to you guys and what didn't. So it's always fun chatting with you guys. But yeah, we might have Holds back next week and Ben back too. So it should be fun having the whole crew here. But just want to give you guys a chance to let people know what you do and where they can find you. So to get started, GTP, sir, what do you do and where can people find you?
Yeah, pretty much whatever I can for console, cloud, and PC. Game Tech Planet over on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And there's Discord links in all the videos if you guys want to get over there. We should be starting the fall giveaways here pretty soon.
Nice. Good stuff overall. Check out GTP, man. Love the comparison. And I miss your podcast, dude. What's going on with that?
We had, the scheduling issues have been difficult, and that Sunday night time slot was like the only one we could find, and then
Right.
it started getting hard for us. So we're trying to figure out if we wanted to relaunch the podcast at a different time, or we may start doing like a pre-recorded show between the two of us that we
Ooh.
can put up instead, because we could like meet up easier. It's just,
Yeah.
Joe's schedule changed and my stuff got crazy, so it got difficult. So we had to pause it after like 10 episodes, but we're trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Thanks for bringing that up, because I keep forgetting to tell everybody what's going on with it. We just made the change and then kept moving. So
Yeah, it's always good. That's why I love Sound of Stadia. They have a little snippet to where they spend like 30 minutes talking. I love like hearing other cloud gaming discussion pieces that's not just Google Stadia, because shout outs to the community who covers Stadia, but I feel like it's a lot of people. So people talking about other things, and you guys too. Duncan, I love when people cover other stuff. So you got to get that podcast back up and do something else like that. Good stuff overall. How about you, gamer? What do you do, and where can people find you?
Man, that's so in the air right now. But I'll do all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Little short reviews, but you can find me at Gamer TV Plus, YouTube, and Twitter. And yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Good stuff. Really love your input, man. So it's good to have you in these.
Oh, thank you.
For sure. Duncan, sir, what do you do? Where can people find you?
You can find me over at Cloudy with Games. And speaking of other content, which isn't just Stadia, we will be doing a deep dive into this stuff tomorrow at some stage. We haven't actually got the time yet. We're just going to talk about that. And I've just seen something in the chat there. I've just lost it again. It's saying when the Fire Stick 4K is coming to the UK. It's like early October, and that could be a good shout when it could be coming to the UK.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah.
Monkey, do you have anything you want to plug? Let people know what you do and where they can find you.
Yeah, so I am off work next week, so I am hoping to bring some videos on good time. I don't have work to hold me back. As much as I love my job, it interferes with this very much better job of creating content on YouTube. Other than that, check out the XS channel. We have Nimbus is going to be doing some streams coming up. He's figuring out his schedule. He loves playing Rainbow Six Siege with friends, and if you're watching, you can jump right in on Stadia. He's pretty good at the game as well, and he's very relaxed and very well spoken. You'll definitely have a good time with him. Very good with the chat, and look out for this VR channel, guys. It's coming. It's coming, and hopefully we don't have extreme in our name without pushing the boundaries. And this is why we have sore heads and late nights and early rises, thinking about it while we're at work, and all sorts of things, because we wanna get information out there, and we want to make it easy for everyone else to do it. So we will put in the hard work, and hopefully everyone else can reap the benefits of that.
True. So just want to echo that, man. The amount of work that's going into this VR channel, again, these videos, trying to figure these things out. I'm not joking. Monkey bought a VR headset. Literally, he contacted Chief and he was like, "I'm sending this to you. I'm done." Like it was. It's a lot of work, man. And you see mine here. I'm like still playing with it. But the goal is to help you guys to figure it out so you guys can know how to do it with ease. And so it's a lot of work, but we are putting in the work, and you should hopefully start seeing the benefits of that pretty soon here. But check out the VR channel if you haven't yet. And again, shout outs to Nimbus. He's going to be streaming on the XS channel. Again, like Monkey was saying, very relaxed guy. He's going to be streaming Rainbow Six Siege. on Stadia. So if that's something you guys want to be a part of, check it out. And as time goes on, we're thinking like Starlink stuff down the line with him. And it's just a lot of stuff in the work for that channel as well. So stay tuned to that. Subscribe to that if you haven't yet. But appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys here next week. I appreciate you guys enjoying the show. Thank you. All right, till next time. Peace out. And shout outs to Duncan for the intro. Check out the intro if you guys haven't
don't
yet.
be.
It's good stuff. I enjoy it. So thanks. Peace out, guys.